Hello. I'm jolly. Of course, if you knew the year I'd had, you'd find that quite hard to believe. It all started when I lost my sensei and my dog within the same month. My sensei walked off into the afterlife, I like to believe, and my dog walked away from me and slammed the door in my face. And though it was nice to not have someone constantly pishing on my left leg, you get lonely when it's just you. It's been 6 months since we last spoke, and in that time, my God, so much has happened. I invested bullshito karate into the stocks, and well, let's just say I was declared bankrupt within a matter of weeks, meaning I could no longer run the dojo, which used to teach so many kids and inspire so many children. I had to open a new studio because we were kicked out of the last one. I was kicked out of the last one. But I could not find a studio that would take me on. Apparently, my short film Sensei was doing negative publicity. I thought I was doing a nice thing to honour my deceased sensei, and yet people come at me and they swear at me. They tell me I don't treat people right. They tell me I'm abusive. I tell them I'm none of those things, and I walk away. Some of them throw punches. Sometimes they just come up to me and throw punches. They don't even ask. They don't stop me to ask. They don't want to hear my side of the story, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm not here to tell you that story because it doesn't matter anymore. I could not find a new studio, so I had to improvise, and I have created bullshito home studios, which we find ourselves sat in right now. It's nothing special, it's just my dining room with a few modifications. I removed the table. I put in a plant. It's fake. At least it won't die like everything else this year. In my moment of weakness, I did what anyone would do. I turned to God and I challenged him to a fight. And as you can see, I'm a father now. You should have seen the other guy. And when I say I'm a father, I mean I'm all dated to do select marriages around Ayrshire. It's good for the image when people get married by me, they tag me in posts. It keeps my name floating around, it keeps me relevant. I'll tell you, the best marriage I've done to date was in Robertson. It was between a guy that lived in Colwynning and a lady that lived in Irvine, and their families despised each other just because of where the other one was from. I told them it was just like Romeo and Juliet. Unfortunately, they didn't have Elton John at their wedding, so instead I had to sing them your song, my song. Enough about me, enough about my dire, miserable year. I rather enjoyed it, actually. Time to talk about your year. Did you have a nice year? Did you have a Merry Christmas? Did you sit down with your family and watch the new Doctor Who's when they released on TV in November? I didn't. I had to sell the TV. Please, forgive me, I have something in my eye. I think it's fire. Wax and the candles I lit beside me. Yes, I did that all by myself. No production crew here. No anyone here. I lost them all this year, but enough about me. Time to talk about wider Ayrshire. This year we saw the apocalypse happen. It was one night I was sat down just about to eat my microwavable curry that I bought from the Spar hours earlier, when all of a sudden the power to all of Ayrshire cut. My light switched off, my lamp switched off, my radio switched off, my radiator switched off, the light outside switched off, the oven switched off. Don't ask me why the oven was on. Everything switched off. The street lights outside, the traffic lights. Can you imagine the Whitlets roundabout? The internet was gone. Nobody was able to communicate with anybody. No one knew what was happening, and this led to people theorising on the streets that the Russians were coming, theorising the apocalypse had begun, theorising TikTok had finally unleashed its master plan to brainwash all of the children and have them go out as little soldiers to slaughter the parents, because that's what was happening in Kincaidston. Children were running around chasing their parents with scissors and baseball bats and golf clubs and football boots and beating their parents to death and burrowing them up and throwing them into a fury bin. And those that didn't have children, the women, were running around with like their bits out, and the men, they were running around also with their bits on display. It was horrific. I pulled up a seat and actually crossed my legs, took out a word search book and, well, enjoyed the apocalypse. But all good things must come to an end, and the streetlights switched on and everyone stopped. They realised what they were doing, and they walked back to their mundane lives, and they got on with it. I will treasure that day forever. At least no one commit any arson that day. That was a different day. The day 3 wee rascals set fire to the Ayr train station hotel, causing havoc for months. Rail replacement buses. Rail replacement buses. Do you know how annoying rail replacement buses are? The main road connecting you from Morrison's, which is where I get off to do my shopping, and the High Street, which is where I go to do my shopping. You couldn't cross that street. You had to just not, or walk around. The number 3 was going diverted routes, and it was absolute anarchy. Drivers refusing to pick people up, people just stopping at the side of the road without even being near a bus stop and demanding that they get on buses. Anarchy. And I think it all comes back to the day my sensei died. Everything was riding high at the beginning of the year. You had the promise of the Barbie film being released. Side note here, see that Ken guy? He comes down to Bullshito HQ, Bullshito Home Studio, and I'll kick his ass. Alright? I don't like that Ken guy, Ryan Gosling. I'll fight you. Because I'm not you. I'm not just Ken, I'm better than you. I'm better than just Ken. Sorry, I get quite riled up about this topic. People tagged me in a lot of his posts, and it frustrated me deeply. My sensei died, and the world went downhill from there. You would not make it up, you would not, Adam and Eve. I've been trying to learn religion, seeing as I'm now a Catholic, I think. Yeah. I've been trying to learn religion, you might have noticed, with all the admin. Eves, which is why I will now leave you, and I will wish you a better 2024. Although I don't know how it could be better than 2023, I suppose. It's quite the year. I will leave you with a prayer. Oh God.